Shawnee, welcome back. So today I'm going to do a quick look for my weekly video with my good girlfriend Jam Fan. Basically, we take inspiration from an eyeshadow look or a picture and we do our own eyeshadow look based on that. Now, I just finished sitting for a couple hours doing my hair, and so things hurt. And I don't have the energy nor the flexibility right now to do anything too intense. So I found this look from Charlotte Tilbury, where it's just like a blue kind of wing thing going on. So I figured I would just try something like that. I actually don't think I've ever done anything that simple. So I pulled out some possible blues to use. I have the Danessa Myricks ColorFix matte in the shade Cobalt. And then I have this single eyeshadow called Boy Crazy from Sydney Grace. I have this single shadow Celestial from Terra Moons. And then I have this single shadow Sapphire from JD Glow. So I'm just gonna like jump in and do something. And I mean, you're not surprised, I'm gonna break out my Groundwork palette from Danessa Myricks, and I'm just going to start by doing just sort of like a brown base, really. So I'm going into the shade Harvest. So I went to yoga this morning. Yeah, it was good. Like one of the classes I go to like regularly is called Chakra Flow. So basically we talk about the chakras and then we do yoga and blah blah blah. Based on whatever chakra we're doing that day, we might like focus on poses that sort of tap into that. So if we're talking about the heart chakra, we might do a lot of poses that sort of like open your heart or whatever, right? So today, I don't think we were actually focusing on any specific chakra, but the theme was like celebration, I think. So, you know, sometimes they like to go around and be like, what are you celebrating, or whatever the theme is, right? So everybody in the class, it was a smaller class today. It was about only 6 of us, plus the teacher, which is 7. So everybody's like, oh my God, I'm celebrating like this rebirth of life, and like, you know, I'm doing so well and blah, blah, blah. And it gets to me and I was like, I'm not feeling real celebratory today. Like, I was just like, I'm not celebrating nothing. I don't know. I don't feel like it. I just want, just let me do a downward dog or something. So I feel like I kind of brought up like a pall into the room where people are like, oh, okay. You know, this is yoga sweets. So I'm just like, I don't know, okay? All right, so I think I will first start with the Cobalt and put it down as because the look seems to be shimmer, but I think I'll put down a matte and then go in with a shimmer over that. Actually, since I'm doing a wing, why don't I put on some of my face makeup first? Yeah, so I'll do that really quickly and then come back and do the other stuff. So I put on some concealer as my foundation. I put on, you know, some bright blush, blah, blah, blah. And so I have my trusty Makeup Forever, it's like an eyeliner brush, and let me get a mirror. You know, where'd all the mirrors go? I swear, I'm that person who's like, I'm gonna put here so I never lose it, and then I don't remember where here is. Well, that's how you, okay. Here's this little janky one I'll use. So I'm going into that Cobalt Danessa Myricks shade. How do I even wanna do this? Wait, it doesn't have to be exactly like it, right? That's my problem usually. So I'm like, oh my god, it has to look exactly like the picture. So the other day, was it last week, I think, there was an earthquake. It might have been the week before. I didn't feel it, but I was like looking on the community tab on the Ring doorbell app, and somebody was like, was that an earthquake? And other people were like, yep. And I was like, oh snap, I didn't feel nothing. And it was apparently like a 4-point something. So that's not, you know, that's not insignificant. I think it was like up the East Coast. I didn't feel a thing when I tell you. So I was so surprised when people were like, yeah, there was an earthquake. I'm like, when? Where? But, you know, I think that's growing up in California, like, you're so used to them. Not that they're not scary still, but it's like, oh, okay. So I text messaged one of my friends who lives out here too, and we went to like elementary school together. And I was like, girl, apparently there was an earthquake. And she was like, oh, really? I didn't feel anything. I'm like, me neither. So I put in my group chat with my sisters, my brother, my niece, my mom. My dad's not in it just because he loses every single phone he gets. So, you know, he's not in it. And I was like, so we had an earthquake, and I think the first one to respond was like my brother, and he was like, oh wow, for real? And I was like, yeah, it was like a little bit ago. This fool, he was like, I was in my car, I didn't feel anything. And I was like, you know why? Because you're in California. Like, I lost it. Because I was like, of course you didn't feel anything, you nut. You're oh my god, I was cracking up so hard. And he was like, oh, you mean out there? I'm like, yes, dude. So, of course, I called him to laugh at him while he was on the phone. He was like, oh, okay. So, I don't know if it's that he didn't look to see which of his sisters was was sending the message. Because if it was my other two sisters, it would have been there in California. So, I don't know if he just wasn't, like, paying attention to who was responding, but it really lifted my mood. I was laughing so hard. I was like, dude, of course you didn't. It's like, I was in the car. Okay, now I'm just trying to perfect it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other side, and I'll come back and figure out if I want to put some shimmer on. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with the shade Boy Crazy by Sydney Grace, and this is a Blend Bunny brush. Is that the kind of brush I want to use? No. I'm going to use this Sonia G brush. It's a flat definer brush. It's going to tap into that and load up that blue shimmer on the brush. And then just put it on top. Hold on, I need that mirror again. Then I'll just put it on this side. Now the blue liner isn't quite the shade I wanted. The This is one of the ColorFix mattes that Jessa got for me. I wanted all of the primary colors, but they didn't have the primary blue. So I was like, well, the cobalt blue is fine. So that's what I have, which I like a lot. It's just a little lighter than, I think, it's a little lighter than the blue in the picture. So I'm also just going to run this along my lower lash line. Okay, I'm gonna put on some mascara and probably a lip gloss, and I think I will be done. So I'll be right back. So here is the finished look of just some blue liner. I like that this is something simple, but also something cool, you know? I need to do it more often with other colors. Anyways, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. Don't forget to head over to Jan's channel, and also be sure to come back every Sunday, and we will have even more looks for you. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.